Hey, welcome back to the Big Rant Show. As always, thank you for joining me. If you could, hit that subscribe button down below and let's get right to it. Now, the policy that the Trump administration has enacted recently, since May, basically, down at the border, is completely morally bankrupt. There's no other way to put it. There's all sorts of people on my social media defending this crap. Defending the indefensible is what they are doing. And I don't understand why. And I don't understand why we're doing this in the first damn place. Now, I'm not going to sit here and talk about people that have entered the country illegally. I'm not going to talk about that right now. Let me set that aside for another time in another video. But right now, I want to talk about asylum seekers. People that are fleeing violence. Whether it be political, gang violence, domestic violence, whatever, what have you. But people fleeing violence, trying to get away from that, trying to come to a country that is safer and more secure, to give their kids a chance. These parents are having to make terrible decisions. Stay where you are, where your child will get gunned down by political violence or gang violence or whatever, and try to bring them to a country that's supposed to be the beacon on the hill, the place that everyone is supposed to aspire to. Yet we're telling them no. And if they do come and request to enter our country, what do? We're turning them away. We're now telling them that asylum is not available anymore for things like domestic violence and gang violence. We have a president saying things like, we can't allow that. We can't allow the violence that's being done down in South America to take place here. Well, you idiot. That's what these people are trying to get away from. People seeking asylum aren't coming here to break our laws. People seeking asylum aren't coming here to bring violence. There's a lot easier way if you're wanting to get into the country and cause violence. Why would you go through asylum and all that crap just to be violent? That's stupid. And it proves just how ignorant Donald Trump and his entire administration is. I, for one, am completely fed up with it. In the last 6 weeks, roughly 2,000 children have been ripped apart from their families. Many of those have been asylum seekers. Not all of them, but many of them were children of asylum seekers. We're not talking people that snuck into the country and then said, oh, I want to seek asylum. No, we're talking about people being separated at the gates, coming to the gates of the United States and saying, please let me in. Asking to be let in. And we're treating them like criminals. I've had many people say, well, why didn't you say anything about Barack Obama's immigration policy? I did. I made blogs over it. I posted on Facebook about it. I posted on Twitter about it. I posted in all sorts of places about it. But nobody would listen. Every time Congress would pass a law and Barack Obama would say, well, I'm not going to follow that. I kept saying, but Mr. Obama, the next president will. The mass deportations under Obama were completely insane, ludicrous even. But the separations were not as high as they are in this administration. Nor have they been this high in any administration of my lifetime. Who have we become as Americans? I will not stand by and sit there and listen to this crap anymore. My complaints over this policy will not end until the policy is gone. And if that offends you, I'm sorry. But my opinion ain't going to change. Just leave your comments down below what you think about it. But I can tell you right now, my opinion's not changing. To me, it is morally bankrupt to separate families at the border simply because they're asking for asylum. I will do another video over illegal immigrants later. But right now, we need to focus on these people seeking asylum. We have got to put an end to this insane policy of telling people they cannot come to our country because they're fleeing violence of any kind. Political violence is not the only thing that you can use asylum to get out of your other country. And to sit there and see how people are sitting there cheering this policy. Multiple people on my Facebook page are cheering this policy. This cruel and inhumane policy that violates UN Charter. That violates international law. That harms children. And I don't care where children come from. I don't care if they come from the Middle East. I don't care if they come from South America. I don't care if they come from Mexico. I don't care where they come from. We must protect children. And ripping them apart from their families and leaving them alone without their parents is evil. There have been reports that even in video of children young enough to still need to be nursing being ripped away from their mothers. Their mother's crime, trying to enter this country. I understand that we are a nation of laws. I understand that we have to have a border. Have to have a secure border. I get that. And there are things we can do to mitigate the problems of our border. And I understand that we can't sit there and just let everybody in. I get that. I completely 100% get that. But keep these families together until their asylum hearings are over. And then if they don't qualify for asylum, okay, you deport them back to where they came from. But it wasn't that long ago that a young teenage kid, I guess you call him young, I guess. He's like 19. Compared to me, he was young. 18, 19 years old. Came here requesting asylum with his family. Was sent back and was subsequently murdered by the people he was trying to get away from. It's not reasonable. Who are we? What have we become? I've seen things like this in history. Years of studying history has shown me that this is not a good path to go down. This is a path that will destroy this country. That will destroy our respect and our standing in the world. That will harm the respect that we have garnered across the globe for our fight for freedom. And so, if you ask me, this is completely reprehensible. And I know there have been some false reports out there, and those aren't proper. There's no reason for false reports. There's no reason for faking photographs. There's no reason for saying things are happening that aren't. But the Trump administration has been lying for almost 2 months, 6 weeks. They've been, and more. They've been saying for months, even before they announced their zero tolerance policy, that these separations weren't taking place, that none of this was happening. And that's a complete lie. It's a complete fabrication. It's completely evil. And that's where I stand on it. You don't have to agree with me. I don't have to agree with you. But that's where I stand. And that opinion is not going to change. You can try and debate me all you want, but my opinion is not going to change. Children should be protected. Case closed. Anyhow, this has been the Big Ranch Show. I've been your host, Jacob Keck. And hopefully, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day, and I'll see you down the road.